Network with Judah Wickhauer keeping us sharp behind camera. Keith Smith, before we rock and roll, my friend, give a little tease. A little plug for what we have planned today.
Yeah, so I'm doing a little bit of research and digging into what's going on in Charlottesville, and came across a rezoning that was submitted on 8/23 from a local developer, and we're going to chat a little bit about the flum and the new rezoning ordinances that are coming up. This project kind of fits within the four corners of what the flum is saying it wants there and what we think the rezoning ordinance is going to be. And actually, I think this is going to be cutting edge on that, because I think this is going to work, and I'm confident it'll probably work its way through the system, if not before my deadline of shaving my mustache off.
Do you think you're going to win the bet, lose the bet? How do you feel about it before we start the show? And we're going to talk Nicole Scro's project.
Nicole Scro's
Nicole Scro on Twitter. We're going to chitter-chatter everything that you're doing from a housing standpoint today. Viewers and listeners chime in with questions. Yes. Nicole Scro went to St. Anne's Belfield Academy. She's a local developer, an attorney.
And a New Yorker, too.
New Yorker. Word on the street is playing a little rugby these days, Nicole Scro.
Well, I think that's on Twitter.
I think that's the word on the street. Twitter is the street.
Twitter's the street. I like it.
So are you going to win the bet?
Oh, man.
How do you feel?
I'm conflicted.
Conflicted. I'm often conflicted as well.
Yeah, that's what Jonas says.
I know the feeling.
Jonas says that about me all the time. I'm conflicted. On one hand, I want to lose the bet. On the other hand, I want to win the bet, right?
So, yeah, you're a competitive man.
Yeah. So, and
Neil Williamson will never let you forget it, frankly.
Oh, he'll never let me forget it. So,
I think we both know that, right?
Look, I'll put it this way. If I lose, I will happily shave it off live on air. And look,
Neil's shaving it, right?
No, I am not. I've never agreed to
Neil, you're not going to shave it?
I've never agreed to allowing Neil to put sharp instruments near my jugular. I've never done that.
Is it going to be a straight edge razor or a mechanical?
No, and if I have to, I'll bring a barber in to shave it.
Oh, that would be a good show.
I will, I'll bring somebody in to shave it. Maybe, you know what? I'll bring in my sister, who is a hairsmithing company. And
she's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll bring in my sister. I trust her, and she'll shave it off for us live in front of it on that. But it could go either way. I not that I'm influencing the conversation at all, but as you well know, I'm connected to some of the folks at the city council and around, and it's going to be close. It's going to be close. I think, and that's why we're going to talk about this. I think how this zoning application goes through, you're smiling, will dictate.
I think it's going to be a great show.
It will dictate my state of my mustache.
I'm very much in favor of unique forms of content on this network.
So I am.
This would be very unique.
I am into the shaving of the mustache.
Yeah, I think that would be very unique if we do. That's the first time someone's ever actually done manicuring on the show before.
And the good news is we won't be in spandex and Batman.
That's true, because that would take it to another level.
It would, yeah. I just don't know how that would work.
Judah Wickhauer is our director. Viewers and listeners, hammer the like button. We work hard for you. The only thing we ask in return is a like and a share and a participation with questions and comments. Nicole Scro's project, a hot topic on today's show. Judah, we can rock and roll when you are ready. Good Wednesday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to Real Talk with Keith Smith. Thank you kindly for joining us. A pleasure to connect with you guys through the I Love Seville Network. Thanks to our friends at Keller Williams Alliance, and yes, Realty Partners. Real Talk with Keith Smith, guys, spotlights the supply chain of trusted advisors in the real estate ecosystem across Central Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley. In today's show, we're going to spotlight local development and the type of projects that matter to you, projects that create density and potentially could help create affordability within our community, a struggle we all have top of mind. Judah Wickower is the director of the show. We would be remiss not to highlight Judah B. Wickower, a.k.a. J-Dubs, from zip codes across the Commonwealth as he is known. Judah, if you could go to the studio camera and welcome the distinguished gentleman to the program as we say hello to our friend Kevin Yancey in Waynesboro, our friends in Lynchburg, Arlington, McLean, Crozet, downtown Charlottesville, the city of Charlottesville, and hyper-local neighborhoods like Belmont, Glenmore, Keswick Estates, Lake Monticello, and Old Trail. Keith Smith, que pasa, chico?
Que paso, amigo? I think you outdid me today with the distinguished gentleman. That is one gorgeous jacket you have on.
Thank you, kindly.
Real quick, though, as you were doing your intro, I haven't taken a look at my little market monitor, just a kind of a little pivot here, quick pivot.
I love
on
quick
today's
pivots.
show. On that end of it, this is the first time I think I've seen this, and I've got to go back and look at some. I take pictures every morning of that.
Evidently, Apple timestamps those photos for you on your
Who
phone.
knew? Who knew that was even possible? I didn't know. I was taking these pictures, and my God lover, my youngest daughter goes.
She's amazing. She's a Division I former athlete, a swimmer.
That's exactly right. It's just an amazing human being outright who's officially moving to Richmond now. We've got.
So we can say it officially.
Well, maybe
it's
I
been
can.
percolating for a little bit.
Maybe
Is it
I can-
official?
I don't know. I guess
I think
it is
you
now.
just
It is now. Oops. But
That's a great spot for her.
interesting. Car footprint. 80 new homes came on the market. Only 47 went pending. I've never seen that wide of a gap.
That's
And I'd
nearly
have
a 2-to-1 ratio.
I've got to look. I've got to 80 to 47.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. I have to take a look at my phone, but I can't remember where we've been almost double of coming on, going off. So anyway, that's not what we wanted to start the show with, but as I opened up my laptop to take a look at Paragon, figured something was going to come up, that jumped off at the page on me.
Mike Schulman, welcome to the broadcast. Jump in with questions, comments, concerns, perspective you'd like answered, case studies you would like us to address. 87 homes come on the market as
No, 80.
80 as 47 go pending.
Yeah. And
What's that tell you, Keith Smith?
well, it's telling me that, the inventory's growing, right? But and I got to take a look at the volume of the inventory, right? Take a look at week over week over week. It's just, it's always been the other way around, right?
Yeah. For years.
For years. It's always been more going pending than coming on right now. And this may be just a little blip over the last 7 days. Who knows? We'll track it for you.
Woody Fincham, the fantastic appraiser of Fincham and Associates, watching the program, one of our many trusted partners. I'll say Woody Fincham, perhaps the best appraiser in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Woody, I'm giving you props here. He says, Keith Smith, who does your facial manscaping? It's too perfect for you to do it yourself. It must be done by a true professional.
Did he really say that?
He really did say that.
How special it is. So that's an interesting conversation. I didn't realize we're going to talk about manscaping and mustaches and stuff like that.
Hey, you brought it up.
I did bring it up. God, you brought it up.
I'm just saying.
So I do it myself. But when I get a haircut, I've got to, because I'm a lefty, and I end up shaving the left side a little shorter than the right.
No,
side.
it looks good.
Yeah. But it's
The last mustache I saw that could nearly compete to this was
is nothing
Kevin
special.
Costner in Tombstone, and yours is better.
Yeah. Okay.
Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp.
Jason Howard,
I
welcome
don't
to the
know about
broadcast.
that.
The King of Rio Road. He wants us to talk the 16-year high of the 30-year fixed mortgage, now over 6.8% with great credit, a 30-year fix.
Yeah.
Kevin Yancey says the shift actually shifted. How about that?
So I'm looking as far as the rates go. that, you know, we're going to wait for Scott to come in for his next sit down with us to talk about that. But, you know, I think the O shift will keep on going up, and I think we will be closer to 8. We'll be closer to 8 than we will be to 6.
Do you think Scott's going to win the bet or Kevin Yancey's going to win the bet? Scott or Kevin Higgins? They got a bottle of very good bourbon on the line. Well, Kevin Yancey, remind me the bourbon that's on the line.
So I don't really care because I'll probably get a sip in either case.
I know, it's
so
nice.
I'm in good
it's
time.
nice.
So August, I'm just randomly picked, right? August 21st, because this time stamps it. Who knew?
Who knew?
August 21st, that's 17, or that's military time, 5:37 to be exact. If anybody wishes to be that, to call us.
Neil Williamson is making me laugh.
Yeah,
he just shared something in the feed. Finish your thought. I'm not helping the ADHD right now.
You're not helping it, brother. And I don't have enough caffeine in me to kind of offset that yet. So this last 7 days, 80 units came on. The week ending August 21st had 80 come on also, but had 90 go into pending. So we are now, let me double check the number, 80 on 47 pending. So we had the week ending August 21st, however long ago that was, right, month and a half, something like that. 80 came on, 90 went pending. 47 price changes in August. Last 7 days was 63.
Oh, say that again. Listen to that stat right there. That's a stat worth following. In the month of August.
Well, the week ending, so it's 7 days going backwards from August 21.
Okay,
backwards.
How many price reductions?
47, and the last 7 days, 63. And let's see, just out of curiosity.
The market is shifting, as the Keller Williams team has dubbed it. Interest rates.
Smith is
as the Keith Smith has dubbed it. I stand corrected.
So I'm looking at those 63. 1, 2, 3 went up. Everything else went down.
I mean, direct reflection of the rates.
Yeah, I mean that's
direct reflection of the
rates. Well, I think it's not so much. Yeah, it's the rates, and it's people going in a little high, and I mean I have to dig a little bit into each one of them to go ahead and do it. But in any event, I thought that, you know, I pivoted last second because my ADHD kicked in and saw that number, and I was like, whoa, I don't remember seeing that number for quite a while. And I'm just going to take a moment and scan back.
Wild Bill McChesney, welcome to the program in the city of Charlottesville. Questions, comments, concerns, put them in the feed. We're talking rates to lead the show. Why? Because you, the viewer and listener, has brought it to our attention. We adapt to you guys in this dealer's choice format. Yes, sir.
The month before that, 70 new, again, a week's snapshot. 71 came in, 101 went pending. So it's surely shifted. It surely has changed. So inventory's picking up, which is really great. I'm showing a couple of houses this afternoon from first-time home buyers that have been sitting on the sidelines, and now they think that there's more inventory. I think there is more inventory on the market, and we're going to go take a look at some homes on that end of it. So maybe this is a good thing. We shall see. We've been talking about we need inventory for a long time.
So, folks, if you're looking to buy a house, yes, you're going to manage the rising rates, but hey, you have more inventory to choose from than a long time, is what you're saying, Keith Smith.
Inventory. We've been asking for inventory, and we're getting it. It took an interest rate bump to get there, substantial bump to get there, doubling to get
Kelsey
there.
says, how high do you think the rates are going to go, Keith, before the end of the year?
Well, I think we're going to be flirting in the high 7s, maybe 8. I mean, look, if I knew that,
you'd play the lottery and you'd win.
I'd play the lottery and win, right?
Jamie Turner watching the program. JT, the mayor of Gordonsville, repping the Pep and Culpeper, just got a new position as a manager at KPMG US. Congratulations, Jamie Turner, on such a fantastic promotion, my friend. He has a question for the distinguished gentleman.
Sure.
And we love when he reps the Pep, JT.
He does.
Jamie says, is it cheaper to remodel? Judah, you going to say the word for me? Is it cheaper? Make sure that mic's on with the volume up. Is it cheaper to remodel a dilapidated house or tear down and build a new one? I think we know the answer to that one. I guess it depends on the extent of the remodel. We'll start with that.
No, it depends on the where.
Ooh, you want to go down that word?
It depends on the
So,
where.
Jamie, are you eyeing a piece of property? It sounds like this man is a real estate investor.
Yeah, so It depends on the where, right? Where, where's your where is always the first thing, right? Again, it's the same things we've been talking about all the time. Where, location, price, features, condition, right? So, if it's in the right location and he's able to buy it at the right price and the numbers work, right? So in other words, if I'm able to buy something, I'm picking, and I do want to get into Belmont in a little while because this helps us with inventory question on the end of it. But I'm just arbitrarily saying, I find something in Belmont that, is priced right, in the right location, but if I tear it down, it puts me about the same price as a lot, right? Because you got to calculate your demolition costs and so forth and so on and that, but it makes sense. But the where will matter, right? So you see that, like, for instance, out west in Seattle and Portland and some of these really high dollar neighborhoods, right? Sometimes it's cheaper to tear it down and rebuild and remodeling. I will tell you this much, I've been around the block a little bit on
Yes,
this.
you have.
It is always more expensive to remodel than you're ever going to think it's going to be. So if you think it's going to be $1, it will always cost you $2, if not more. It's just the nature of things. Good old Murphy kicks in, and the Murphy's laws kick in, and it doubles it up. So it's a matter of an ROI kind of thing, and it's a matter of getting the right trusted advisors in there to take a look at it and do an analysis for you. So, for instance, Lake Monticello waterfront lots, houses, right, that you're starting to see that, right? Some of these homes that were built in late 60s, early 70s that were tiny little 900 square foot, 1,000 square foot vacation homes, it's making sense to buy them, tear them down, and rebuild them.
It sounds like the U.S. food trucks on Market Street is agreeing with Keith Smith
Or
with a little toot of the horn over there.
Oh, they're dropping off more liquor.
I certainly hope that's what they're doing. I'm not sure if U.S. Foods is in that business, but hey, if you are, we're happy to host.
We like-
Ragged Branch Distillery, Vitae Spirits, if you'd like to drop off more bourbon or gin or vodka for us, the bar is open and we'll happily welcome that gift. Jamie Turner not only gets a promotion as a manager at KPMG US, Jamie Turner recently married. So we say congratulations to Jamie Turner on the nuptials.
Speaking of congratulations, thank you. Congratulations, Jamie, but thank you for reminding me. It's my father's 83rd birthday today, so I wish Pops a happy birthday.
Pop, happy birthday, 83 years young. Jamie Turner, more intel for you as a potential case study.
Believe it or not, my mother and father watch what we do every 3 days a week.
Well, fantastic. I'm sure they do. Quite a few people do, Keith. You've become the voice of car.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, you have.
but my mommy watches, so I'm doing good.
I love you, Mrs. Smith. I love you, Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
Jamie has more feedback as a potential case study. Jamie, put some items in the feed, and we'll do a case study live on air. He has a piece of property in Gordonsville that he's been sitting on for a while.
Got it.
Can you offer us some more intel here, Jamie Turner? Is this a piece of property with existing construction on it? Is this, I would imagine, since you're repping the Pep and Culpeper now with a fairly swanky home you and your beautiful bride have, that this is an investment property and you're looking to monetize it and you're trying to figure out the best ROI possible for this real estate holding.
It also, and Gordonsville is a really neat...
Gordonsville's hot.
It is, but... Right.
It's in rough shape, 1920s, without many updates. Keep talking to us, JT.
Yeah. So is it on the main street, or how many? Because sometimes when you start pulling a couple of blocks off, the thing is, you've got to take a look what's around you, right? So you don't ever want to overbuild to the market, right, or overprice, unless this is going to be my forever house. Right, and I'm going to build for it, and I'm going to stay in it, and this is where Jamie wants to stay. And
this is investment for him.
Yeah, so if it's investment, again, the where is really makes a huge difference. So if it's on Main Street, I think the value is a little higher on it than if you're 2 or 3 blocks off, because it does change. If you just take a look at the values of homes that are selling or on the market, or the tax value, which of course is not the best way to establish market value, but it's a good litmus test to see how you're doing. So if it's close to walking distance to, Ice House, Well-Hung Vineyard, Mr. Williams.
The restaurant, one of the best restaurants out there, Neil Williamson's Well-Hung Vineyards.
So. Walking distance to a little bit of barbecue. Then that changes the dynamic quite.
We know friends of the program, Chris Henry and Stony Point, have ample aspirations for downtown Gordonsville and what they're going to do from a remodeling standpoint. Jamie Turner offers more for the case study.
I'm ready.
Are you ready, distinguished gentleman?
I've got a red pen. Well, I got a blue pen. So
you got both colors. Very patriotic you are.
I got red and blue. That's right. And white, you throw in there, we're doing good.
Very nice.
But I'm waiting. I'm curious what Neil had to say, but let's finish the case study.
Neil's poking a little fun at your mustache.
Is he really?
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Neil Williamson, jump in, though, with some quality perspective. We'll relay it on air. JT says this, Keith Smith. I own it free and clear.
Okay.
Have no debt on it. However, it's not on the main street. We're looking for it to be an investment property, Keith. It's not too far from Main Street, but it is across the tracks in a lower income neighborhood.
Got it. I know where he's at. Yeah, so look, if you own the, first and foremost, congratulations.
Yeah, let's give the dude some props. JT, for you.
Congratulations.
Married man, rep of the Pep and Culpeper.
And
investment property, free and clear.
That owns free and clear.
And just got a promotion at KPMG.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Outstanding. Congratulations. So let's keep the winning streak going. Look, rentals, and when we get into talking about the FLUM and the project that Nicole Scro's doing on it.
St. Anne Belfield Academy's finest, Nicole Scro.
I've got some 80% AMI rents for the MSA, for our region. And Neil will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. I believe Gordonsville's is a different MSA, a different... It's different. It has a different HUD classification, so I don't know what the affordable, quote unquote, affordable rents are over there. But we can get on apartments.com and figure out what the average rent's going out that way. Look, just don't overbuild it, right? If you own the land out free and clear, it's Jamie. Rents. There are a ton of people that need places to rent. The land is sitting there, you're paying taxes on, it's not really doing much for you. If you've got the fiscal ability to build something on it that is, commiserate, they like that word, huh?
Good job, Keith Smith.
Okay, I got to take a breath here.
The coffee's kicking in, my friend.
No, I just got to take a breath. That word hurt. Commiserate to what's surrounding you. Did I do good? Did I do it right?
You did well.
Commensurate.
See, I didn't even say it right.
I wasn't going to say anything. Why do you do that? Why do you throw the man under the bus like that?
No, I need to learn. Thank you,
You can do
Judah.
it to me. Don't do it to the distinguished
Better than,
gentleman.
better than letting him think he's saying the word
Let's
right.
go to
Judah.
the three-shot and welcome Judah Wickower to the program.
Oh,
Three-shot Judah Wickower.
Judah, you have...
Might take a while.
I'm still executive producer, right?
You are executive producer.
Judah, I'm executive producer of Real Talk with Keith Smith. You can correct me anytime you want.
Thank you.
You can correct me anytime I want.
Can we show Judah's face on screen?
Yeah.
Executive producer, is that okay?
Yeah. Do I really have anything to say?
Yes.
Do I really have anything to say?
This is a good show right here. You got more for your case study if you want to look it up, Keith, as we get J-Dubs on screen. It's on Charles Street.
Yeah, okay. I exactly know where it is. And look, my advice would be if this is purely investment piece of property and you're crunching your ROI, you are absolutely off to the right start. You own the dirt, man. That is huge, right? And the big picture, the big question would be is how do you want to finance it? If you have cash to do it.
I'm asking those questions.
Yeah, if you want to finance it, the fact that you own the land is going to help you on the financing.
Huge advantage.
Very much so.
Collateral.
Well, it's collateral, but what the lender is going to do is more than likely, if I was him, I'd be looking at a construction perm scenario, construction permanent. So there's a construction loan and a permanent loan on the end of it, and they'll just sign over the.
Judah's on screen with a fun smiley face. Can you do that smiley face again? Everyone,
I was on
look
the
at
track
the screen.
here, and you just had me lose.
Look at the
Let
screen.
me make a note.
We'll get back to the case study here. What was the word?
Well, the trick is, I remember where I was.
Oh gosh, Bill McChesney. We'll get to your comments. Woody Fitcham's trying to close deals in the chat. You ready for this?
Yeah. Let me finish helping out my suggestion here.
Please.
On that end, because I've got something that popped into my head. So construction, perm, used a piece of property. The bank's going to do a first deed of trust on it. They're going to sign it. Basically sign it over to them. They're going to go ahead and construct it. And when the construction's done, to do that. I would strongly consider, if this is an investment property, and I literally know this parcel, I put a modular on that.
A modular. JT.
That's what I
Tell
would
us
do.
why a modular.
Well, I just think your build time is so much faster, right? And if you're looking at something pretty simple, a rancher with a nice little porch on it, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, that kind of thing. I don't even think you need. Personally, I don't think you need a garage out there. But if you're going to do that, your math is so much easier, and it requires less people. You put a foundation in the ground, you have a guy come in, company set it, wrap it up, tie it up. You can, once you get it produced and delivered, you can put somebody in there within 30 days. And that if it was me, that's what I would do.
That's fantastic advice. Case studies are welcome on Real Talk with Keith Smith. We have Jeff Stees watching the program, a talented architect, watching on Twitter as we speak. More feedback for Keith Smith. We'll get to Woody Fincham and Associates, interacting with Jamie Turner on the feed right now. He says, Fincham and Associates, the principal, Woody Fincham, renovations are a great situation for a feasibility analysis by a competent appraiser. Yeah. Woody Fincham also says this, if you're using it for income, then improve it to maximize rent. Will the rental differentials be higher with a new build? Woody Fincham also says, pretty sure I know the location, and the answer is likely no. But will zoning allow for a duplex? Jamie Turner. Jamie Turner responding to Woody Fincham on the feed. Comments also coming in from architects on Twitter. Comments coming in on Apple Podcasts. Comments coming in on direct message. The show is interactive, live on every social media platform known to mankind. Not only is Jamie Turner saying that he owns the land and house free and clear with no debt, he has let us know it's a 1920s home that's in rough shape without many updates. It's not on Main Street. He's looking for it to be an investment property. It's not far from Main Street, he says, but it's across the tracks in a lower income neighborhood. JT says it's on Charles Street. Jamie Turner also adds, I don't think it would be, he doesn't think the new build would be the right approach. He would like to do 2 units as the zoning allows it.
Oh.
And he was looking to do construction to perm. It's about 1,700 square feet. But each contractor that has looked has said exactly what Keith just said. Just put a modular on it.
Yeah. Well, but then it becomes...
Go ahead.
Well,
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, so... And it's just that...
U.S. Foods likes it. You just heard him.
Yeah. Did he say that right, Judah? I would do... If the zoning allows a duplex... That changes the RRI tremendously, return on investment, to per
that's where I thought you would go.
Woody's perspective on it, and then you have to pencil it out, right? This is a back of a napkin kind of thing, but what's happening here live on the show is, right? You've got trusted advisors from Woody to architects to myself to
Jeff Stees, jump in here with some perspective, Jeff.
Others in that, but I think I would probably put a duplex modular on there, and I'd have to dive into the rental return and all that great stuff. But off the cuff, back of the envelope, live on a webcast on Facebook Live, that's what I'd be doing. That's the penciling I'd be doing. Is okay. What is it going to tear me to tear it down? What is it going to cost me to do a duplex? What is my construction perm loan going to cost me? And by the way, if you do a modular, your construction perm is much more attractive because you're not getting eaten by drawer by drawer by drawer by drawer. So the way that works is it's tied to prime. So you get so much for the foundation, so much for the first floor, so much for the framing. With that, what'll happen, because I've done a few of these myself, the company is going to require, the module company is probably a deposit of some sort. It'll come right out of the loan. It'll pay it. But then when it's finished and it's trucked down, then there's a larger amount of money. Basically, you have to pay for the unit on it before it gets set on the foundation. But your cash flow, your management of cash is much more efficient, particularly at these high interest rates. That's literally what I'd be looking at on that end of it.
Comments are coming in fast and furious. Neil Williamson, president of the Free Enterprise Forum, says Gordonsville, Virginia is not in any MSA source.
Oh, That's interesting.
That's an interesting little tidbit right there. That's a great trivia question. Should the I Love Seville Network launch a trivia quiz show? Maybe that would be a question you would see in there.
Well, I think the answer is yes to that.
Other questions are coming in fast and furious on the network as we speak. This from Grayson, who is watching in Belmont.
Ooh.
Is it Belmont or North Downtown, Grayson? Can you let us know? He says this question, Keith, can you explain how owning the land free and clear of debt is an advantage from a financing standpoint, please, as opposed to having a mortgage on a project like Mr. Turner does not have or others could have? That's a great question.
Yeah, so great question. It's skin in, to put it very simply, it's skin in the game, right? So you know, the lender is going to want to see. It doesn't mean you can't do it any other way, but it makes the path so much easier if you own the land. So if I was doing a case study to help Jerry and Mrs. Miller build a custom home on a lot somewhere in Albemarle County, the conversation would be, okay, do we have enough cash to buy the land, right? You don't have to go that way, but if you do, it makes the path so much easier because the lender then puts what's called a first deed of trust on the property. And here's the reason why a first deed of trust is so important. I know you know this, Jerry, but everything in the state of Virginia goes with the land, right? So if you should not pay or you should go bankrupt or you should go whatever, God forbid, right? Guess what? The bank owns whatever's built on it. It just takes it over and either resells it or does whatever. So you are, in essence, putting up, in your terms, the land is collateral, but it's more than that. You're literally signing it over via first deed of trust to the lender. Did that make sense?
Yeah, keep going, keep going. I'm going to send you pictures. We have pictures of the home. Jude, I just emailed you pictures of JT's house. Please get them on screen. I'm sending them to you. Please get them on screen. I'm sending emails, Facebook DMs, responding to listeners and viewers' comments while hosting the program.
And I'm
keeping
drinking
Keith Smith online.
I'm drinking
Keith Smith,
coffee.
I'm sending you the photos literally as we speak. On Twitter, jump in. The Architects watching the program on Twitter. We're hollering at you right now. We respect your opinion very much.
So did we determine
And
who-
Jeff Stees, jump in here, Jeff.
Did we determine who lives in Belmont?
Grayson.
Grayson, great.
Yeah. Grayson, is it North Downtown or Belmont? I understand you may be hesitant to let us know exactly, but he's told us in past shows it's City of Charlottesville. If memory serves correct, and it's one of my assets, it's either Belmont or North Downtown.
Well, the reason I'm noting that if we ever get back to the Avon Alta Vista rezoning, that would be
We're talking to Cole Stroh?
Yeah, that'll be helpful to that. But let's finish the train of thought that we're on at the
Look
moment.
at your phone over there if you want to look at the pics.
I would love to, but I have not come down yet. You know, I've got, I don't have this fancy 14.
Do you have them on airplane mode over there?
I think I do.
There we go. Get it off that airplane mode over there, Keith Smith, distinguished gentleman.
Oh.
Did you get them there? Picture on screen. Judah Wickhauer making moves. Everyone, look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. There's Jamie Turner's property, JT. JT, there's your crib right there, the investment property. I would say JT and Keith Smith's the pro. I just host talk shows and learn from the professionals. You have a great piece of land right here, but you're likely looking at a teardown.
I'm waiting on.
That has not come in for you yet?
Yeah, I'm old. It's the phone kind of acts a lot like me.
No, come on. That's got to come in for you here.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I've got all kinds of emails that are now downloading. I just got to find it.
Do you have your phone on airplane mode over there? As it says delivered, did they just come to you?
I just got it. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic.
Just got it.
Would you, we're just strictly doing the eye test. You keep the pictures on screen, rotate the front and side pictures.
Yeah, man.
You're seeing a teardown there, right?
Yeah.
And we're not throwing shade. We're not knocking.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah. So it's a great couple of pictures. Obviously, I'd like to get some from the inside, but the reality of it is,
remodeling is going to be more expensive than a modular.
I can assure you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can assure you that's got a little historical context to it. That is a classic.
JT says this show is awesome. JT, you're awesome. Keep talking to us, Smith.
I believe that's a classic. What they call, could be from the pictures of 4/4, right? Center. It might even be a 2/2. So that.
JT, is it a 2/2 or a 4/4?
So I think it's probably a 2/2. Center stairs, 2 rooms to the left, 2 rooms to the right. Probably is what it is. Look, to turn that into something I think the renovation costs would be off the charts because
Undoubtedly.
What happens with that is
And if you could find the workers to do the work.
That's part of the reason I'm leaning towards the modular end of it.
Right.
We did that. My personal home that I built is a 6-box custom modular. And I built it in 2000 because we had the same struggle in 2000 as we have now. We didn't have any
2/2.
2/2. Yeah.
They just put it in the feed.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, 2/2. From the width of it, it was 2/2. Yeah, man. Location matters. If that was downtown Belmont, maybe we'd be having a different conversation because your acquisition would be so high. But if you own that dirt and that free and clear, I would look, and it's duplex, I would look at demoing it and, go through the permitting process that you're going to have to do that, demo it. Probably about $25,000 to demo that and get it right. You're going to have to do 2 new sewer taps and water taps and all that kind of great stuff. But that's what I would be doing with it. I'd be making a nice little duplex, assuming it can fit on the property. Jamie, what's the dimensions of the lot?
What's the dimensions of the lot, Jamie? What's the projected back of the napkin rent? JT's a smart man, a businessman of extraordinary proportions. I undoubtedly believe he has a back of the napkin rent projection for this piece of property.
Yeah, I think in Gordonsville you're looking at 15, 16 on the easy. On the light side.
That's light.
Yeah, on the light side. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, when you're going to do this, you want to be a little conservative, right? You want to be conservative on your.
How about if it's a duplex?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Either side.
So you're talking $3,000 total.
Yeah, I think if you're going to put a duplex on there, that's going to be 2 to 3 bedroom. The width of the lot and depth and all that stuff will make a huge difference on that end of it.
Todd Rath watching the program. Todd, I'm going to tag Jamie Turner on the show on your comment. Todd Rath is an entrepreneur and businessman of talented proportions. We love you, Todd Rath. We love the booze you create, Todd Rath. The co-founder and president of Blue Toad Hard Cider, Todd Rath, watching in Nelson County. He says, Keith and Jerry, I just ordered 2 modular homes for 2 lots at Smith Mountain Lake.
There you go.
Way to go these days.
Yeah.
Ritz Craft does some amazing stuff with modular homes.
Yeah.
Todd, I'm tagging Jamie Turner on this. Talk to us about that.
Ritz Craft, I believe, is a Virginia manufacturer. Mine, actually, my personal home, and I did quite a few of these in 2000. I actually did them what they call custom modulars, where they were delivered to the drywall on that end of it, because I've had my own trim carpenters. We had our own cabinet company, our own plumbing company, so we had that portion of it taken care of. We didn't have framers, and that was a big market deficit in 2000 on that end of it. But Ritzcraft is a good company. I'm 99% sure it's a Virginia company. You might want to double check me on that, but it seems so. You pay for a little shipping, a crane. Here's the trick to a modular, by the way. What you got overhead matters, and what I mean by that is, so they're going to crane these things in on it. So if you've got to relocate some overhead lines and power lines and all that stuff, that could be expensive. Modulars are also expensive sometimes out in the country, because you've got to build a road to the site that can handle the trucks and the modular, right? So some of these things are 16 feet wide, 15.9 feet wide, I think is the maximum, up to 50 feet long. So these are long, pretty wide units on that. But if you're like in a city environment, like Gordonsville, I'd be looking at utilities would be my first thing, is what do I got to relocate in order to do that?
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Todd Rath, Ritzcraft is out of Pennsylvania.
Out of Pennsylvania?
But Virginia Building Solutions is a top sales firm for them in the Commonwealth.
Got it. Yeah, there's a couple of producers.
Todd, I'm seeing 4 or 5 questions on our comment aggregator with our custom software. Folks asking where there's land at Smith Mountain Lake for modular homes. Just if you could offer more perspective, that would be amazing. Todd Rath, a serial entrepreneur, a talented entrepreneur, the co-founder and president of Blue Toad Hard Cider, got a couple of modulars coming to Smith Mountain Lake. He's dropping knowledge. Jamie Turner, Todd Rath has given you some good perspective.
If the site works and you can get to it, you put a foundation in the ground, run all your utilities, and then the local rep, typically how this works, a local rep will set it for you for a fee, of course, and dry it in, right? And then you can either finish it up yourself or have the local rep finish it up on that end of it. So depending on how much Jamie wants to put hands on the end of it, it could be a turnkey project. Or
0.25 acres, projected rent 1,300.
Did you say 2.5 acres?
0.25.
0.25.
Quarter of an acre. Projected rent 1,300 according to comps.
What's the width?
1,500 a month, maybe pushing it for this location. JT, what's the width
Yeah,
of the lot?
So even if it's 1,200, he's looking at what, 2,400 a month?
You're saying if it's a duplex.
Yeah. That's the only path on this. If the, and this is again looking at a couple of pictures live, right? So if the property is,
I mean, he's pretty much told us it's a tear down.
Yeah, well, I'm beyond that.
Yeah.
So if the zoning allows it, a duplex, that's a huge win. That's a huge win.
Jamie, did you buy the lot because the zoning allowed duplex?
I'm confident he did.
Yeah, this dude's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Did you see that the zoning allowed the duplex,
Yeah.
and that's why you bought the lot, Jamie?
So
Why'd you buy the lot? Why'd you buy this house?
So depending on the width, right, and then you have to dig up the ordinance in there. So does a duplex have to be attached? Can they be separated, right? And if they have to be attached, will it fit on the lot?
Judah, get the photos rotating again if you could, please. Keith Smith, talk to us, baby.
On that end of it. So there's a lot of what ifs you have to go through and dig into it, but he's on the right track. I think he's on the right track.
More information for you, Keith Smith. Coming in fast and furious, faster than my fingers can type, but I am keeping up, viewers and listeners. Keep it coming. Todd Rath for the question. Modular homes are not trailers. They are stick-built in a factory and treated just like a regular home. Yeah. So really, any lot will work at Smith Mountain Lake if you can get to it with a crane.
That's the point.
That's Kevin Yancey's question. Todd Rath is answering on a different Facebook page.
The site conditions matter, right? If the site conditions aren't right, because you got to, anybody who's ever worked with a crane, and I've done enough of it.
The only crane I've worked with is Legos.
Well, the ass end of a crane, right? The rear end of the crane is about 6 inches off the ground, right? Depending on the size of the crane, right? There's cranes that are rough terrain cranes, but they're not going to be lifting up, tens of thousands of pounds. So and that's it. And that road, you have to build basically a subdivision grade road for a driveway in order to get that crane in there and get the equipment in there. And you got to clear enough of an area, because the trick on the city environment is where do you store the units while you're doing it. But it's done. We did this in Seattle with auxiliary dwelling units, and it was really cool. They boomed them right over the top of a house and put them in the backyard, right from the street. Picked them up, boomed them right over the top of the house, dropped it down on a foundation in the back, blind. It's actually pretty cool to watch.
That is very cool to watch. Neil Williamson sharing knowledge on modular homes here. Kevin Yancey makes sure to highlight the HOAs, and a lot of homeowners associations prohibit modular homes. Todd Rath responds to Kevin Yancey and says, mine are not in HOAs. I've had enough of that in my life. I cannot do HOAs any longer. So Rath responding to Yancey. Yancey responding to Turner. Williamson responding to all of us. We're orchestrating.
Yeah, I'm drinking coffee. I don't know what you're doing.
The show's on fire.
I preferred the term manufactured homes, right, or modular homes. What most folks think when they think that, they think of trailers, right? And here's the difference between the two. And somebody on the feed will correct me if I'm wrong. A mobile home is actually a vehicle. You get a DMV process for it. A manufactured, a modular home is built in a factory, third party, inspected. They just think about it. They build them to run them down the road. So the Ritz is in Pennsylvania. That's a 10, 12 hour, depending on where we're going, ride that they got to truck down the road and they keep together. And I've done about 36 of them in my career. Never had a problem with them. Literally, my house.
Your house is one.
My house is 6 boxes. And if I didn't tell you this and I walked
You
through
wouldn't
my
know.
head, you would not know. You would
Yeah.
not know it is. Yeah. And I built it in 30 days.
Built your house in 30 days?
Built my house up when the foundation was complete. Built it and done it. It was one of Keith Smith's genius moves. I said, honey, because we were in the Parade of Homes every year. Honey, we don't have a house in the Parade of Homes, but I got a foundation sitting and I got a design for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And we actually had the house dropped September 1. Actually, no, August 15th, and had it done by the deadline of September 15th. In 30 days. 3,600 square feet. So it's a path. So
That's
it's
amazing.
It's a cost of money thing, right?
Especially as floating debt is getting more expensive.
That's the reason I'm bringing it up. So because your construction line of credit is going to be tied to prime, right? The first half of it. Then when it converts to a fixed, it'll be based on a 30-year or whatever you negotiate with the bank on that end of it. But the construction money will always be tied to prime. So whatever prime is, and it's going to be a 0.1, 2, or 3, depending on what you're able to negotiate with the lender on that end of it to do that. And they're receptive to it now. I can tell you, 5 years ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation because the bank would say, no, we're not doing it. They just wouldn't take the risk. But now they will.
You just got, viewers and listeners, 45 minutes of, well, Jamie Turner really got 45 minutes of pro bono knowledge right there.
Oh, no. Where do I send that invoice at?
45 minutes
I'd
of
love to help. Any way I can help.
pro bono knowledge from a man who's been in the business for how long?
Enough.
36 years? 35 years?
35 years, yeah.
35 years.
But
That's the kind of case studies we'll do with Real Talk with Keith Smith.
So look, I've never met Jamie, but I've met him virtually. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what I'm saying, right? So I don't think I said anything to Jamie that he didn't already know, in my opinion. I think he's already knew this. It's helped to reinforce it, but I think he's been on a path and he understands that path before today.
Neil Williamson explaining that the language certainly matters with homes like this: modular, manufactured, prefab,
Yeah.
off-site, mobile.
Correct. Well, mobile. He was doing real good till mobile.
Well, I added mobile.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, that's the difference. That's the word difference. As soon as you say mobile, that is DMV.
And that's the tough part of the word. This is branding. This is my business. The tough part of the word modular is the brand connotations suggest mobile, and mobile suggests trailer.
Yeah. Well, so the term modular is because it's modular. It's boxes that get connected, right? And I'm sure sometime way back when somebody came up with modular and it stuck, and that's that. I'm sure a pretty sharp branding person who sits across me can come up with a better term. But at the moment, that's the term, and it matters too, as Neil said. When you get a loan, these words matter, right? If it's mobile home on it, you're not going to get too far with it. Lenders are more than likely, and jurisdictions don't like them either.
And speaking of branding, flim, flam, flum, future land use map, Keith Smith. How about that segue for you?
Yeah. It's that's one heck of a segue. So,
Nicole Scro's project.
yeah, did a little digging in it, and since
St. Anne's Bellfield's finest.
since Neil is watching, I ended up printing out the whole application because what else do we got to do at 4:30 in the morning? And read it and reread it.
Is this what I have to look forward to as I age?
Yeah, well, then there's that, Coach. It was funny. I was talking to my pop on the way in. Pop's 83, and I said to him, "Words matter." I said to him, what? You're in great shape for 83. And he goes, "Really? Thanks, pal." I was like, okay. Hey, I was trying to give you a compliment. So Nicole Scro owns, and I can look at it. I believe it's under an entity by the name of, hold on one second, Chicken Oriented Development LLC. That's a unique name.
What's the name of the LLC?
According to the application, Chicken Oriented Development LLC. That's the applicant, but it's Nicole Scro has signed it as the applicant. But anyway, it was applied to an 8/23 of this year, so it's on the corner of Avon and Alta Vista. And what made me think of it of looking at this and digging into this was an actual tweet that came from Neil Williamson in reference to parking, because one of the process here is they're running this through basically a rezoning process through them, just to kind of break it down a little bit simply. So there's a parcel on the corner of Alta Vista and Avon, and what they're trying to do is subdivide it, is what they're doing. And subdivide...
Alta Vista and Avon's a great spot.
Absolutely.
Close to everything.
And Judah, I know you've got a few slides, so if you would want to roll through the slides, hold on a second here, 2 through, hold on a second. Actually, you can go run them randomly, 2 through 11 and 12 on that as I chat, if you wouldn't mind, please. Thank you. So it's on the corner of, set it up, it's on the corner of Alta Vista and Avon. What they're looking to do is turn it into 2 lots, and then they're going to be doing some, what I term, zoning text amendments, because the new ordinance is not in place yet. Make a very long story short, it currently has 1 single-family detached home on it, so there's 1 family on it, and what they're proposing is to go ahead and turn that into 2 lots, put a total of 10 units. So they're going to take the single-family detached home, turn that into a duplex, and then they're going to build an 8-unit, 2 4-unit side-by-side units in the back, quote unquote, in the backyard along the alleyway on that end of it. So what'll happen from a count perspective, it'll go from 1 unit to 10. 2 of those units they're proposing in their proffer statement will be affordable, right? So they're going to, these are rental units, by the way, folks, at the moment, according to their proffer statement and for the application statement and their application narrative on that end of it. But 2 of them will be affordable, so it's 80% AMI and below. So just to put that in perspective, if they're 2-bedroom units, the going number for that is $1,179 a month. So in essence, this is what we've been talking about all along, this missing middle. This is what this mustache bet's about, right? And I think that this application kind of checks, this is my interpretation, checks all the boxes of the FLUM and what the zoning ordinance rewrite has in mind. Maybe not verbatim, but in spirit, it's pretty close to what they're talking about. To include, they're going to be removing parking requirements. They're requesting for parking requirements to be removed.
Which makes everything more expensive.
It makes it more expensive, but now I can fit the units on the property, right?
Right.
On that end of it. So why I like, and I'm going to follow this project very closely, because I think, and Neil may disagree with me on this, I think this is going to run through the system before my mustache bet comes up. And I think how the city councilors react to this, planning and city councilors react to this application will be telltale how they're going to ultimately end the rezoning.
All right, well,
so that's my soapbox on that, and to see. Go ahead.
let's talk about the temperature in the room. The temperature in the room on the dais, in council chambers. Michael Payne's going to vote in favor of this. That's a slam dunk. I can say that with confidence and conviction. That's 1 vote in favor.
I think he'd want to see the affordability higher than that, but they're proposing 25% affordability, which is 5% higher than what Albemarle County is requiring in it. So
And Michael Payne also understands that perfection is the enemy of productivity.
Without doubt.
Okay, so Payne's a vote in the favor of this project. I would bet Sina McGill is a vote in favor of this project. Agree with me on both those? I would bet you would.
Yeah, so far I'm not. I'll jump in when I think you're wrong.
McGill and Payne are in favor. Mm-hmm. Here's where it gets tricky. The remaining 3. Pinkston, Snook, and Wade. Snook on this show, in the chair you're sitting right now, announced that he is running for re-election on the I Love Seville network.
Sure.
Snook.
I think it ends at Wade. I think Wade will vote in favor of this.
Snook, because he's running for re-election, has to gauge the temperature of voters in the city. Many in the city who vote or oppose to this So I'm going to just put friend of the program, Mayor Lloyd Snook, his office 35 feet from this studio. I'll just put him right here on the shelf in voter purgatory for now.
Yes, let's call him neutral.
Neutral. Voter purgatory.
Got it.
That leaves Pinkston and Wade.
I think Juan Diego Wade would vote for this. Again, I've only read it 3 times this morning on the end of it. We'll see how it goes through the process. But my opinion on this is how this project, I mean, there's even in Nicole's application narrative, I mean, she makes a very compelling case that this meets the intent and the spirit of what is currently going through. That's how I interpret her writings on that end of it. So we'll know. Look.
When's this get to the dais?
Well, that's a great question. So the application was made the 28th.
28th
of the 8th month. So
August?
August, yeah. So it's probably not quite made it to the Planning Commission yet.
Okay.
It's probably still in staff end of it. So my suspicion is it'll probably come to the Planning Commission soon. I don't know. They set their agenda, right? We can't predict what projects are going to get put on or not. Some jurisdictions like Fluvanna County, by the way, once you make an application, they have a very methodical process that you will get through, and it's generally 6 weeks. You'll get into at least the Planning Commission within 6 weeks. Where it goes from there is a different story on that end of it. As Neil will know, you can
Interesting tidbit just got put on the feed.
you can get deferrals all day long.
You ready for this?
I am.
Nicole Scrow, I'm sure you've thought about this. St. Anne's Bellfield's finest.
Do I need a red pen or a blue pen for this one?
I think you probably want to take the orange pen out for this
I
one.
do not have an orange pen.
Neil Williamson, president of the Free Enterprise Forum. Judah, you ready?
Are we betting again?
Do we have a drum roll, Judah? Do we have a drum roll? I believe we do. Oh,
That's not
that's
a
not the
drum
drum roll. That was done on purpose. Yesterday, Neil Williamson read the following in a national publication. Some banks
Yeah. That's what triggered me.
are mandating
Yeah.
parking requirements in excess of locality regulations as conditions of
Yeah.
financing. Keith Smith, have you heard this before? Because if the banks are mandating parking requirements in excess of locality regulations, this will very much change things.
I read that. That's what that tweet this morning triggered me to look into this a little deeper, to be frank with you, on that end of it. I've been around the block for 35 years. I've never heard that. I've never heard, and that doesn't mean that's what's going on. That could potentially be the case. It just sounds a little off to me. But if it's happening in other places, it could migrate its way here.
Explain why a bank would do that.
I don't know. I wouldn't know why.
Neil Williamson,
I mean, I
explain
know
why a
Neil.
bank would do that.
I don't understand the logic for it. Look,
Jeff Stees,
So-
explain why a bank would do that.
yeah, so I'm going to dumb this down because I borrowed tens upon tens of millions of dollars to do this. And my explanation has always been, it doesn't matter if I was Batman, Robin, Donald Duck, Mickey,
bank wins.
Mickey Mouse. No, that's not what I'm going to say. Mickey Mouse. If a deal pencils out, it pencils out, right? So if the zoning is there, the equity is there, the person who's borrowing the money has enough of a skin in the game, right? Either with property or capital on the front end, and I'm borrowing 50% and I need 100%, right? If all that math works on that end of it, I've never been involved in a situation where the lender wouldn't say, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Now, it's got to work. It's got to pencil out. I've never heard of that before. Now, I don't know what jurisdictions it is, but that tweet triggered me to look at this. It really did.
Neil Williams says the bank would do this for risk reduction.
Yeah.
Explain risk reduction and how this reduces risk.
Do
Do it at a 7th grade level for all of us.
Yeah, I don't understand the risk reduction. I don't. I mean, this is the world I know pretty well.
You know it better than...
I don't see where there's a risk reduction.
Well, why would they say that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Here's a
wouldn't-
seventh grader's. Here's just an average take. You have more parking spaces. You could potentially guarantee more tenants, which potentially reduces risk.
No, man.
Because folks, it's still a very car-centric society and ecosystem. So you need parking spaces to get tenants because people want to live in places where they can park their cars.
So what everybody is saying is the banks are going to put their thumb on the scale. Is that what we're saying?
Neil Williamson is saying that.
Yeah. Who knows? I've got a dear friend of mine who's a president of a bank up there, and I'll said it to myself: if you think we're smart, you're wrong. We're usually the dumbest guys in the room. So
yeah, but the dumbest guys in the room, you're talking the bankers, are the ones with the money. So they call the shots.
So here's a question to Cole Scrow: how are you funding this?
I mean,
right?
She's a very connected person. Maybe she doesn't need bank financing and comes at it from a PE standpoint.
Yeah, this is a big project. I mean, it could be. Who knows? On that end of it, I was out in Seattle and Portland looking at these exact projects all day long.
Neil Williamson has shared the link on the comment section of my Facebook page about secret parking minimums and requirements and how it could impact bank decision making. Keep talking to us, Keith Smith.
Yeah, no, I mean it's Neil being Neil, which is great. He's providing information. I just don't have answers to it because I'm going to have to ask folks that I know in the space that lend money for A&D, acquisition and development, and say, look, is that going to come here? Is that in your pipeline on that end of it? And if it is, that could totally throw everything off.
Oh, it would be a completely different project.
No, forget about this.
Yeah, this project would not.
The flum just goes away.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we're talking specifically with this project.
Well, but we're using this project as a litmus test, at least I am, as a litmus test. Did I use the right word? Is that the right word? Thank you, Judith. Thank you. It's like the what show is it that you got to throw back to the Jeopardy or something?
No, Jeopardy, they don't throw it back to the host.
No,
Can you get on the 3-shot so we can see who he's talking to so the viewers? No, what show is it?
I don't know.
What show is
I
it
think
where you
it's
have to throw
Jeopardy,
it back?
right? Is that word?
Kent Jennings is asking questions.
I know that, but they have like folks in the jurors or something determine if it's the right word.
Are you talking Judge Judy?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
What's he talking about over there, Judah Wickar? Viewers and listeners, what is he talking about?
I don't know.
Yes.
Who speaks Smith over here today? What are we?
Nobody speaks Smith. Okay.
You know what he's talking about? Viewers and listeners?
Forget about it. Forget about it. Moving forward on that end of it. Smith don't know what he's talking about on Jeopardy. But what I was trying to get at, it'll be a litmus test, I think, for how this rezoning is going to happen, right? How this zoning amendment process is going to happen. And if this project goes through as currently written, as currently presented in the public forum, right? It's going to speak volumes on how this June 19th, 2023 thing is going to go, I think, on that end of it. So that's why I got excited about watching it. Plus, I'm excited, personally excited about increase of the missing middle. But if the lenders say, thank you very much, Nicole goes through this whole process, gets it all approved, gets the parking requirements removed.
Woody Fincham can see the lenders doing this.
Yeah.
Woody Fincham says lenders are the very definition of risk adverse.
Well, he would know more than anybody. He's more connected with the lenders than I.
So, Woody Fincham, you think the parking requirements become a KPI, a key performance indicator, with bank financing and projects like this?
I don't understand the risk end of it. So
I thought I just explained it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking.
Do you disagree with that though?
I just don't get it, right? If we all agree, and I may be wrong, right? So what the hell?
If you have a piece of project, if you have a property that you're building or renting for sale or rent, and there's no parking that associates with that property, will folks be less interested in that property from a renting or owning standpoint because they can't park their methods of transportation at said property?
But you park on the street. There's street parking, right? Or the way this is located is on the mass transit. I mean, I've seen this work in different jurisdictions where they don't need the parking, right? It's walking distance to downtown mall. The location matters, right? This is walking distance to downtown mall, walking distance to Belmont, walking distance to the hospital if that's where you're working. on that, or UVA on that end of it.
Katie Pearl is trying to speak Smith. Is it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
It could be. Well done, Katie. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie, for saving me.
One of Keller Williams' finest.
Katie,
KTP.
thank you. My brain is moving a mile a minute, and my
lot going on here.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's moving a mile a minute, and my mouth probably didn't catch up with my brain, or vice versa. So, thank you for saving me, Katie. At least somebody's trying to take care of me.
I'm constantly trying to take care of you over here.
I'm kidding you. I'm kidding. I did say nice jacket.
Thank you very much.
Pocket square's nice too.
The viewers and listeners, Kevin Higgins, Kevin Yancey, and Scott Morris, they have a bourbon bet on the line when it's tied to interest rates at close of business of this calendar year. Our enterprising director, Judah Wickower, has found the 5-minute sizzle reel, which we will play at the end of this show. This sizzle reel identifies the particulars of the bet. We will continue to play this sizzle reel on the I Love Seville network, and with the executive producer's permission,
Do I really need to give it?
on Real Talk with Keith
Come on.
Smith as well.
You know, Jerry, I love you, man.
I love you too.
But, I BS for a living. Don't BS a guy who BS's for a living.
Oh God, I love the show. The show's killing it today, dude.
I don't think I've ever in 3.5 years took my glasses off and threw them on the table.
The show is killing it today.
But look,
multiple people are asking about the parking requirements.
yeah, look, I've seen it work in.
You got a city councilor watching.
Yeah, I've seen it work in other places. Look, what's the answer, right? The answer is I'm building parking and I can't help affordable housing, right? So look, let's assume, for the heck of it, this doesn't go through, right? It doesn't go through. We don't get, and so this is interesting. So this is not by right now. So we're asking for permission, right? There's a whole proffer statement in here where the applicant is freely, offering proffers, right, to go ahead and do it. Here's an opportunity to get some homes. I just think it's a great project from what I read into it at this point.
This put on Twitter.
I mean, what is a parking spot? I mean, I've done this before. It's just all of a sudden you're trying to provide some affordable housing and you got to provide a spot for a car. We did the same thing, by the way, at Nassau Street, meaning the land trust, and I was able to through the system remove parking spots, because if you had so much if you park for a bike, you can take a parking portion of a parking spot off. But how many folks in here are going to have 1.5 cars? Because that's what the requirement is. It's 1.5 parking spots. That's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And oh, by the way, I grew up in a city. We never had a car for a while, right? And you walked to the store, you hopped on the bus. You never took the subway. It's different.
Yeah.
I get it.
Not comparable here.
I got it. But it is, though.
No.
But it is to a certain degree. Yesterday,
Keith, when is the last time, Kevin, I'll get to your comment. Woody, I'll get to your comment.
so let me say something, because I did this yesterday.
When is the last time you've taken a bus?
I haven't taken a bus, but I walked.
When's the last time you've taken any public transportation in the city of Charlottesville? And look at me, because I can tell when you're lying.
Well, look at these pretty pictures.
I know, see? Judah Wickower, 3-shot. Let's watch this.
Let me finish, though.
Can I get Judah and then go to you,
let me finish.
please?
No,
Get a 3-shot ready to go.
Hold on a second. Is there a tool I have here?
You have the magic wand. You can use the wand. Use that as your dictator wand if you want.
Dictator, so now I'm a dictator.
That's your dictator wand.
Did you call me a what?
Go ahead, my friend.
I
Go
thought
ahead.
you said something else. I had a meeting at Tavola, happened to be around Martini's yesterday, and I walked from my office to Belmont. I walked from Studio X to Belmont. It was a nice walk. It was a beautiful day. I said, "This is crazy.
That's a great walk.
I'm not going to take my truck." I left my truck at
Ix.
At Ix. Yona and I walked to Tavola, had a drink, had a business meeting, had a little dinner, walked back to our truck, and then drove home.
That's awesome. I respect that.
So if I lived there, I'd walk to Tavola and have a cocktail.
Let's go 3-shot. We got the 3-shot?
There will be people that will rent these and will walk. and take mass transit or take an electric bike or something like that.
Judah Wickower, you live on the city-county line, literally.
Yeah, but that's different though.
He lives on the city-county line, do you not?
Yep.
Literally. When is the last time you've taken Charlottesville-Albemarle transportation? Public transportation.
I don't think I've ever taken public transportation.
He's never taken public transportation. Keith Smith, have you ever taken a cat bus of any kind?
I've never taken any public transportation in a 6-county jurisdiction of where I'm sitting.
Okay, so the only person on this set that has taken public transportation is yours truly. And the last time yours truly has taken public transportation was as a student at the University of
sober?
Virginia. Probably not. Probably not.
Checking.
As a student at the University of Virginia.
Probably not. We don't want your mom and dad to hear that, but yeah.
They know well, very well. The trolley.
Oh, I lied to you. I have taken that.
Okay.
I have taken that.
I would say the trolley's public transportation, right?
I have taken that. I have absolutely taken that. I've taken that with when I have family, and I didn't even think about that.
And you want to show them, give them a taste of the town.
To me, like if you go to...
so it's a novelty for you.
It's a novelty. This is not hey, this is a great way to get eyes on it.
It's experience.
I did this in San Diego when we were down in San Diego. They have these trolley car tours, right?
Yeah.
You pay
Did you do it in Charlottesville?
No.
Okay.
No. It's free. I'm telling you, I do this. So
Did you take the trolley in Charlottesville?
Yes. The short answer is yes.
You took the trolley in
We're not
Charlottesville?
communicating today.
You are?
Yes.
Okay.
I took the trolley in
Okay, I just want to clear that up.
And I have taken it numerous times when I have friends and family visit.
Okay.
And we say, hey, this is a great way to see Charlottesville.
Okay, so that is the novelty.
It is not a form of transportation to get to and from work.
Okay.
School. Right.
So the person on set who's taken public transportation for legitimate public transportation purposes is yours truly, and that was done roughly 19 years ago.
Yeah. I got it. So what's your solution? Your solution is leave the parking in there and leave it as a single-family detached?
I'm spitballing.
Yeah.
Sake of a talk show. This tweet was sent to me in DM form. In exchange for agreeing to finance an apartment project, Jerry Banks almost always required developers to build a minimum number of parking spaces, often well above the requirements set by the city. Woody Fincham adds this of Fincham and Associates.
Well.
Parking can impact feasibility. I am aware of projects, not local, but projects in general, that have no parking, that have no impact to vacancy. However, we're at low vacancy rates in our market, and I could see this impacting vacancy, which would scare lenders.
Okay.
Woody Fincham also says, but you guys are not the typical end user for this project. The question is, will the end users of this project use public transportation? That's your point. That's your point.
Correct. So
This is fun.
Yeah. So you're 100% right. Yeah. Look, I got smarter today. Thank you to Neil. Thank you to Woody. Thank you to everybody. I've just never been involved in a project that they had, as long as it met the zoning and site plan and it penciled out, and Woody Fincham's appraisal worked on it, right? And, very rarely would they impact on it. Usually it's like environmental items and so forth and so on. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then everything I've got in front of me, these 50, 60 pages I printed out this morning, goes out the window.
Unless there's a different kind of financing in play.
Well, then it's cash.
It could be PE money.
Well,
there's so much PE money around here.
It could be a lot of things, but
I'm not saying it is. I'm just spitballing.
My suspicion is that if it was PE money, you probably wouldn't be offering affordability in it. You would want to max out.
Do you know the developer?
I
know you do.
I do. Yeah. So, but it could be. It could be. Equity money, right? We're talking PE is private equity.
Yeah, private equity money.
Yeah.
Has very often laser-focused ROI strings attached, is what you're alluding to.
Very
is that what you're alluding to?
That's what I'm alluding
to. Yeah.
So
the folks that offer the PE money that I see in my world certainly do.
Yeah. So we used to, when I was borrowing money that level, we'd call it hard money, right? Because it was very, there was Uncle Vito in Staten Island, and then these guys, right? and there's not much difference.
Oh,
Oh, I'm telling you, I borrowed money from hard money guys. They don't.
I mean, I can't blame them.
No. You go in it wide-eyed. You
Yeah.
understand what you're involved in.
Right.
The path is short,
Right.
right? But this is the rules, and you follow the rules, and that's that.
Hi, Scott Morris. Welcome to the program. We
Hey,
love you,
Scott.
Scott Morris. You're a miss today.
Very much so.
Scott Morris,
I would
we're
have
about
loved
to-
to have him sitting here in this conversation.
No doubt, no doubt.
doubt.
Scott Morris, Ross Mortgage, trusted advisor, Ross Mortgage. You want to get some money for financing, buying a house? Scott Morris, Ross Mortgage. Dude knows what's up.
We'll
Dude is
track
reliable.
that parking thing because that's super interesting. And I'll
Dude,
track.
the parking thing could screw the whole,
No.
the upzoning thing, everything.
No, it just goes away.
Yeah.
It just goes away. Yeah. It'll be a bunch
If the
of.
banks don't offer financing because of the parking, it screws the upzone.
It'll be a lot of pretty papers. With
That's
pretty
all it would be.
I think the only other.
I mean, frankly speaking,
The
if-
only financing vehicle may be and like CDFI money and LIHTC and stuff like that. So-
frankly speaking, and I'm seeing the folks watching, kind of hesitant to say this. I'm rarely hesitant to say something here.
Yeah, really. So which color do you want? Red or blue?
I'm not even sure I should say this.
I can get the black one if you want. I got an orange one over there
I'm
too. if you
seeing
want.
the folks that are opposed, many of the folks that are opposing the upzoning on the program here.
Sure.
I think you got a little potential leverage here with the with your
Well, I don't.
upzoning opposition
Yeah.
with this content.
I think the lenders are going to do the track that the lenders are going to do. I'm pretty sure whoever opposes zoning amendment, the flum or what's going through there won't have any. The banks, if the banks are going to do this, is doing it for a very different reason.
Well, no, they would put this. Well, I think we just did it.
Yeah,
In the narrative,
Yeah.
which I think we just did.
I may be wrong, but look, what's the solution, right? Right. This.
We just host talk shows.
Well.
They may have a lot of people that watch them.
I'm supposed to be an expert.
We just host talk shows.
I'm supposed to be.
I mean, you are an expert.
I don't know about
Okay, I just host a talk show.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to play an expert.
And you stayed at a Holiday Inn Express
I stayed at
last
Holiday
night.
Express, that's right, yeah. And ate a Tavola last night and walked.
And you walked?
And I walked both ways. So
Without taking the trolley or the bus.
And that pretty much is, I'm done on that end of it. But look, if they're hitting two bedrooms at 1,179 or 3 bedrooms, because the number of bedrooms impacted tremendously, jumps up to 1,478. You look online, find out where you can rent the 3-bedroom unit
I have a 3-bedroom rental, Villas at Southern
in
Ridge.
downtown Charlottesville.
No, mine's in the
Yeah.
oh, is it Kale? No, hold on. It's Mountain View. And the Mountain View School District.
Yeah.
Mountain View
Yeah,
Elementary.
whatever. I believe you 100%.
I actually knew it was Mountain View.
But
Effing around.
I know. Yeah, whatever. It's the jacket.
The Villas,
It's
the Villas at Southern Ridge. It's a 3-bedroom, 2
One
bath
bedroom
with a
is
den.
1,027. 2 bedrooms, 1,179. And efficiency, whatever the hell that is 7.
I'd say efficiency is a studio.
Wait, I would
Yeah.
call it a studio.
Yeah.
Is 752, 3-bedroom. So just to throw it out there, the city of Charlotte, in downtown Charlottesville, in Belmont, how much is a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom renting for right now?
I would say so my 3-bedroom, 2 bath with the den at the Villas
I
at
think I could
Southern
do that in
Ridge is
apartments
under
downtown.
market rented because I maintain occupancy and it clips $1,700 a month all day, every day. And some of those are flirt with $2K. And that is off Old Lynchburg Road. If you're in Belmont, a 1-bedroom in Belmont all day, every day, depending on the condition, I would say is $1,250 to $1,500. $1,250 to $1,500. He's looking it up on our apartments.com. This is my business here with the rentals we got. We got 24 of these. I would say a 2-bedroom, depending on the conditions, in downtown Belmont. Man, that's flirting with $3K. Somewhere between $2,500 and $3K.
Wait, first of all, you can't find one.
I mean, you definitely can't find one.
Yeah,
You got to get on a wait. You better know somebody if you want to live there. I mean, I'll put it in perspective. I lived in 2006 out of the University of Virginia.
So Tarlington Square on 701 East High Street has a 2-bedroom studio.
And this is not even in downtown Belmont.
It's not. No, it's the closest I can get.
Yeah.
Is $1,700.
Okay, so I'm on point.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's not even downtown Belmont. I'll put this in perspective here. In 2006, Me and two homies lived at 208 Little Graves behind Spud Nuts. 3 homies, me and 2 others, 208 Little Graves. Arthur Feiner was the landlord. Son Ben is a fantastic entrepreneur in the area, owns ProLink, Ben. And in 2006, 208 Little Graves rented for, and it was not in great shape, not in great condition, for $1,600 a month. And this was 16 years ago. It rented for that. We were so broke, we welcomed another friend. His name is Shannon. He rented the attic from us. It was not finished, had no heating and cooling in it. He had to use the pull down from the roof, you know, that pull down door. He put in a rope ladder.
So that you know that's illegal.
He climbed the rope ladder to get to the attic and spent $200 a month to rent an attic that had no heating and cooling, that he had to climb a rope ladder in. He put a blow-up mattress up there. He had no electric in there, and still somehow managed to get girls to go up to the attic.
Yeah, we don't want to go there.
No, I'm just,
So I can't
true
even,
statement.
I
That
can't
actually
even,
happened. That's facts.
I can't even find a 3-bedroom for rent. It's just on apartments.com.
You have to know someone. They don't even get marketed.
Yeah, so two bedroom is, you know, between just probably pushing 1,800. So if you're doing
Katie Pearl, she has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, detached in Greene County.
Yeah.
It rents for $2,200 a month.
Yeah. If you could find a 3-bedroom,
It's over 3G.
Yeah. So we know, because there's one pretty close on it, just a quick thing, you know, so this unit will have, assume it has 2-bedroom units in it, they will not exceed $1,179, because that's in the proffer statement, right, on this end. In today's AMI, right, it gets to float up each, because AMI gets changed every year, or float down, because AMI can go down, right, on that end of area medium income can go up or come down, and this is based on HUD's numbers. So, you know, it's like $800 cheaper from what I could find quickly on my phone. So, and we talked about this, what was it, on Monday, right? Where are the folks who are servicing the rest of us going to live?
Woody Fitchum says, Jerry, that's low rent for your condo at the Villas at Southern Ridge,
Yeah.
but you know that? He is exactly right.
Yeah.
I maintain rents below market
Yeah.
because I get no vacancies.
So we
Here's
have,
the thing that a lot of folks don't realize. You know this, you're a pro. If you're in the rental landlord game and you keep them occupied, because if you go a month where you don't keep them occupied,
Yeah.
you will never make that up, even if you're at the top of the market.
and this is when I give a shout out to Ally Property Management. We have one, and they manage our one property, and we just raised our rent based on what our minimum costs are. So if our taxes go up or HOA go up or whatever, that's what we do. We're keeping that, you know, as affordable as we possibly can on that end of it. And I love Suzanne Reel at Ally Property Management. If you've got something to rent, reach out to them. I forget I have it.
Ally Property Management, Suzanne Reel.
Which is usually people freak out because they don't want to deal with tenants and stuff like that. It's well worth it.
She does a fantastic job, bang up job. Any closing thoughts before we play a 5-minute sizzle reel? Kevin Yancey, Kevin Higgins, Scott Morris.
Did I have executive permission? Did I give permission? I did.
Yeah,
really? Okay,
yeah.
good.
You did. Judah, you got that sizzle reel ready to go?
And what are we doing again?
So we're going to play the specs of the bourbon bet.
Oh, yeah.
And the bourbon bet specs with Kevin Yancey, Kevin Higgins, and Scott Morris are tied to interest rates and where interest rates will be at the end of the calendar
What was
year.
the over and under again?
We're about to play.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, there is some uncertainty on the over-under, but the beautiful thing about this show is
It never goes away.
it lives on the internet in perpetuity,
Trust me, I know that.
forever.
I found out about that. I was on the line of Kava the other day and got called out on the line about something I said some months ago, and I went, you know what? You were right. I was wrong.
Forever. It lives on the internet forever.
I think Neil sends people out to follow me around and correct me. I think that's what Neil.
Any closing thoughts, my friend?
No, I had fun today.
Today's show was awesome, right?
Yeah. I love, you know.
Awesome show.
Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of a pivot we're trying to do and trying
Case
to,
studies.
Case studies. You know, I refer to it as Stump the Chump, which is me, but
You're not a chump.
yeah,
You're a very
it's
smart
fun.
man.
It's well, I'm an open book, so we'll see how it goes. And if I make a mistake, I'll admit I make a mistake. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I'll say I'm right, and we'll keep on moving on.
Viewers and listeners, there are more than we can count. Yes Realty Partners, Keith Smith, Jonas Smith, and their team is who you count on to navigate this tumultuous market. You see what the man is about 3 days a week on this talk show, where he completely is an open book and as honest as it gets, hardworking as it gets, high character man as you will find. Yes Realty Partners. This is where you just nod your head.
Okay, sorry.
Yes Realty Partners and Keith Smith, a friend, family. Judah Wickhauer's got the sizzle reel. Here's the sound.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Pop Smith.
Yeah.
Here's the sound from The Bet with some serious bourbon on the line. Do we have the drum roll? Oh.
Hey, here you go. You want these? Please, some recommendations for Tuesday. Send us some for Friday.
Friday, if you want case studies, put them in the feed.
We're doing the same thing Friday. Jerry and I. Please send in some case studies. Love to do it.
Judah Wickhauer in 3. You got it ready? Do I have to slow down the count? Judah Wickhauer in 10. In 9.
You do have Smith on the other side of the table, right?
In 8. You got it? All right, Judah Wickhauer in 3. In 2 and 1. Play the sound.
And say hello in person.
Kevin Yancey, Waynesboro. He says this, I'll call this right now. Good credit with money down. You're going to see 8.5% to 9% in Q4.
Man, did he smoke that good stuff over there, Kevin?
You're saying no way, Jose, to that.
I'm saying it doesn't go. Yeah, I'm saying it's not enough of them. We're not talking. Look at what. All right, we moved 2 full percentage points from 3 to 5, or let's say 3 or 2 and 2x from March until now, and the U.S. 10-year doubled.
Right.
I'm saying the U.S. 10-year goes from, the 3.3 it was a couple weeks ago to 3.75.
Dang, dude, this guy wants to put skin on the game. He said, Scott, I will bet you a bottle of bourbon on this. Let's say he'll take that bet. This guy does not, man. But let's set the stage for the bet right now. All right, I'll help set the stage. We're gonna we'll put it at 8.5% as the over/under. 8.5% is a push.
Okay.
Anything under 8.5% by close of business Q4, Scott Morris wins. Anything 8.5% or over by close of business Q4, Kevin Yancey wins. Is that the bet?
Primary residence, 720 credit better.
Okay, there you go. Dude, this is resonating. Beth Marcus, the Queen of Farmington, says you better specify the brand. Other people are in on this bet. Kevin Higgins wants to double down here and take this action here. You got multiple people here. Let's specify the bottle of booze. Let's set the terms right now. So it's going to have the credit. You're writing this down, Smith? Okay, he's writing this down. Credit score is what?
720.
720. Primary residence.
For primary residence, we'll go conventional.
30-year.
30-year fix.
30-year fix. Money down.
We'll go 10%.
10% down, Yancey.
Did you just say 10%?
Mm-hmm. 5%.
Okay, you want to go 5?
I'm good 5 or 10. Either one, they're going to price about the same.
Call 10%. Call 10%. You got Kevin Higgins wants the action as well. Are you willing to take Kevin Higgins' action?
I'm willing to go 2. We'll go 2.
Okay, now let's specify the booze, the brand.
What do they like?
Yancey and Higgins? What kind of booze brand are we talking here? Are we talking Buffalo Trace? Are we talking Angel's Envy? Are we talking Eagle Rare?
Something final, like how many Fridays or whatever do I got to be parked in front of the liquor store in a lawn chair? Is my can we make it something that we can get our hands on?
Okay. What kind of booze do you want to bet, Yancey? You started this.
So I have a bottle of Buffalo Trace. I will donate that to the bet.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to contribute?
I'll contribute to the bet.
Okay. He's got Buffalo Trace. All right, so we're going to call it Buffalo Trace. Kevin Higgins, are you taking this action? Put a yes.
It's a 750 liter.
A 750 milliliter bottle.
Yeah.
Kevin Higgins, give me a thumbs up. Kevin Yancey's already locked and loaded. Yancey says, make it simple. Crown XR. You can find that anywhere.
Perfect. Nobody
All right.
drinks
It's
that
Crown.
Irish
Thank you. I
blended
now say
stuff
my
anyways.
Buffalo Trace.
Okay. Keith Smith wrote down the specs in terms of the bet.
So primary residence, credit score 720, conventional 30-year fixed. We settled on 10% down, right?
10% down.
Okay.
That's a hell of a bet right there. Jamie Turner, welcome to the program. Dude, people are loving the program right now. So you got,
we need to pick a date here.
we'll
What was
close
the
the
date?
business Q4.
Okay, close it.
So we're talking December 31st.
Yeah.
December 31st at 5 p.m. December 31st at 5 p.m. That's a great freaking bet. And you know why that bet is great? Because that's not that far away. That's a legit bet. That ain't that far away. I love it, Yancey. I love it, Higgins. I love it, Beth. I love it.
So let's change that date.
Kevin Yancey wants you, Keith, if you could, to DM the specifics. And Kevin Higgins is 100% in, and he says, I have a bottle of original Ragged Branch. It's yours if you win. Scott Morris, you have my word on it.
So let's.
This is awesome, right?
I love it.
I know, he loves it.
Let's go.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
I think we should
Beth Marcus loves this.
let's set the date for either the 28th of December or the 30th of December, because that's a Wednesday or a Friday, because we can do this live on the show.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do the 28th.
28th is Wednesday.
Yep.
Scott's here on a Wednesday, December 28th, and we can do this bet.
All right, so let me re-go through this, guys. Make sure the old guy in the table's got it right. Date is 12/28. Primary residence, 720 credit score. Conventional 30-year fix, 10%. And I only got half of the booze. So what did we decide on the
Crown,
booze?
a bottle of Crown. Although Higgins, if he loses, is up in it, just shows his character. He'll make it a Ragged Branch. Ragged Branch is top shelf there.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's top shelf.
Yes, I'm trying to. I will personally shop to try to match that.
Yeah, it shows his character too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And say.